Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Creating Cards with Debbie. I want to welcome you here today, and let me go ahead and give everybody a chance to get on here. I kind of jumped on pretty fast. So, catch my breath here. Excuse my voice today. I'm getting over a head cold, I guess it is. A good old summer cold, maybe. I don't know, but it's been hanging on for a little over a week now, and I'm ready to get rid of it. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch my cameras around and we'll go ahead and get started. And hold tight. All right, I hope my lighting is okay. Okay, like I said, my bracelet's going to bug me. I'm going to go ahead and take my bracelet off. It's clanging on my mat here. Put that aside. We'll go without a bracelet today. Okay, welcome to Creating Cards with Debbie. And my name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. And today is June 16, Monday, 2025. So the last couple of weeks I've done a pre-recorded videos, and I think they might have messed up a little bit, so I apologize for that. Sometimes things don't turn out the way you expect them to when you're not there to watch the cameras. But today is going to be live. I'm actually here today. So if you want to shop any of my products, you can go to my store, which is, let me bring these up a little bit. And let me get rid of the date there. We don't need all those banners running at the same time. There we go. Okay, so you can shop in my store, which is www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And if you need to email me, you can reach me at my email address, which is creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. That's also in the description of the video. So if you miss what I said, you can look at that later. And we're going to go ahead and get started here. Put that aside. Trying to find a place to put everything out of my way. Okay, so let's talk about Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin is a monthly subscription that you can get a kit each month, and you can cancel it at any time. There's no obligation to stay with it any longer than what you want to. So if you try it and you don't like it, you can put it on hold or you can cancel it completely. But you have until the 10th of the following month to do that. So for June, we have Sweeter With You. And you've got until July 10th to sign up for this. It says it makes 4 different card designs. Look at this pretty box. I love the box too. It's probably going to be a keeper. And what it says about July, it says Sweeter With You. Subscribe from June 11th until July 10th. And this says craft sweet handmade cards featuring sun-kissed strawberries and breezy gingham. It makes 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs with 8 coordinating envelopes. Pre-cut paper pieces and vellum accents, hand-painted card-based designs, coordinating colors are garden green, which is your classic Stampin' Spot that you receive with this kit. And it also goes along with Granny Apple Green, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Strawberry Slush, and Timid Tiger. And Charming Gingham Box coordinates with the kit. So it's kind of give us some ideas what the kit's going to have in it. It's probably some gingham and some strawberries. Okay, and along with that kit, you can add on your dies that are going to go with the next 3 months. So it would be, June, July, and August is the months, I think. Let me make sure. Yeah. No, July, August, September it coordinates with. And the item number for that is 167277, and the cost is $12. But you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get those dies. So if you have any questions, reach out to me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. All right, then Stampin' Up! Has also got a virtual album retreat that's going to be going on from July 16th to the 18th, 2025. And it's going to be from 2 o'clock to 10:30 p.m. And that's Mountain Time. It says craft with the new month-by-month album retreat 2025 kit. And it says get yours while supplies last. It makes 12 spreads. So that's 12 double-page spreads. That's what it means. And it says during this 3-day event, virtual event, you'll create 12 scrapbook spreads, craft with a community that loves memory keeping, learn new techniques, and interact on a personal level with fellow crafters and Stampin' Up! Staff. By purchasing the month-by-month album retreat 2025 kit, which is number 167338, you'll get access to an exclusive Facebook group where the live event will be held. This kit is available for orders starting May 28th, so the orders have started already. The cost of that is $250, and that's in the U.S. And to learn more about the month-by-month album retreat 2025 kit and the virtual album retreat, contact me or go online to Stampin' Up! Website. And it kind of gives us a sneak peek of all the pages that will be included with that. Like I said, each month has a 2-page spread, so you'll have a double each month. So like this is January, and February, March, April, and then it goes on and on for May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. So that's an amazing opportunity there. I know the $250 seems like it might be kind of high, but when you break that down into 12 months, it's really not that much. So if you're a scrapbooker or if you're thinking about getting into scrapbooking, it might be something you might be checking into. And like I said, if you have any questions, reach out to me. It says this kit contains exclusive stamp sets and die cuts, pre-cut pieces of designer series paper, and two-tone cardstock sheets, embellishments, memory protectors, flip-flaps, and photo placeholders. It doesn't include an album. You don't need an album to complete this kit, but using an album is a great way to keep all your spreads together in one place. Once you've finished making all your spreads, you can put them in an album you have on hand or consider purchasing an album or a 3D ring album. All right. And we've got lots of housekeeping notes today. I apologize for that. Let me get up to my comments here so I can watch whoever comes on. Be sure you say hello when you come on. And it's kind of fun to know where everybody's watching me from. So say where you're watching from. Okay. All right. And then also during the month of June, June 3rd to the June 30th, 2025, Stampin' Up! Is running a 50% off on all their sweet products. Let me put this one up here better. And let me tell you about that. It's kind of confusing, but if you have any questions, reach out to me. It says, save big during this buy one, get one 50% off sale on all sweets and sweet products. This sale includes all sweets and sweet products from the 2025 to 2026 annual catalog and online exclusives. Shop these sweets and more during this sale. So it says buy one, get one 50% off all sweets and sweet products. So it doesn't have to be an entire sweet. It could be just the products that are in that sweet. So just an FYI, you'll get you'll pay the full price on the highest price one, and then the lower price one is what you'll get your 50% off on. So and you don't have to buy a sweet and sweet products all from the same sweet collection for the discount to apply. You can buy any sweet products from any sweet. The discount will appear in your cart once you've added 2 items within the sale perimeters to your cart. Products are available only while supplies last. Okay. Like I said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you with that. And don't forget about our last chance products in our store. These are items that are, when they're gone, they're gone. So, and some of them are discounted quite a bit. So you might want to check those out. That's in my store, which is scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. And don't forget about our online exclusives. We just added some new ones, so you might want to check those out in my store. And I think that's all we have for housekeeping notes. So let me get all these out of the way. Okay, and don't forget about to get your starter kit. Let me put that banner up here. Right there is a website that you can go on to. And to get your starter kit, you'll pay $99, but you pick out $125 worth of products, and that includes free shipping. So you might want to get your starter kit and get some extra supplies there. That's like what, $26 extra supplies for the price of $99. So, and also with that too, if you have any questions, reach out to me. Either email me or private message me on Facebook. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. That's enough chatter for now. Hopefully my voice holds out for me. Let me bring my comments back up here. If you're watching me on Facebook, be sure that you hit that share button and the like button. And also, if you're watching me on YouTube, which I run both videos at the same time, so you can watch me on either platform. So if you're watching on YouTube, be sure you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to click that little bell so that you'll be notified when I go live. And also, I think there is a share button on there also. So I'd appreciate that. And I want to welcome you here today and tell your friends about me. Come join the fun. Okay, so we're going to be using Stampin' Up's Coneflower Celebrations Bundle today. It's the stamp set. I'm trying to get rid of some glare and all the dies. It comes with got 10 dies in here. And I had fun working with these. They're lots of fun. So we're going to start out with our first card then. And bring that over here. My instructions off of there so I know what I'm doing. So here's our first card using our Coneflower Celebration Bundle. It says, "It's your day." And I didn't put anything on the inside of this one, but we'll stamp something in there when we're doing our card today. I just didn't get it done. Get my bits and pieces all out here. I did a lot of the prep work ahead of time to save a little time today. I didn't know how long my voice would hold out for me today, so I thought I'd be a little bit more prepared. Hopefully. Okay, so we're going to start out with our card base. It's going to be our Strawberry Slush. And this is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. We're going to take our bone fold and we're going to burnish that fold line. And I set that aside. And then I have our designer series paper, which comes from, let me grab it here. Where'd it go? Of course, it's in the back of my pile here. Excuse me. It's from the 2025 to 2027 in color 6x6 paper, designer series paper. And I'm using the Strawberry Slush color today. And on mine, I used this pattern for my background, but I'm kind of thinking about changing it up and maybe using a more solid. So what do you think? Would you like the first one, the original, or the second one? Let me know what you think, which one you think would look better. Kind of hold those up. Original or second choice. I'm going to set that down in a moment. I'm going to take a drink of my drink. What are y'all drinking today? I'm drinking this is sugar-free strawberry lemon nature's twist. It's pretty good. It does have a little tartness to it. Kind of refreshing. All right, so I think I'm going to just make a decision here. I'm going to go with this one here. We'll have two different cards. Just a tiny bit different. Okay, and this measure is 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. I'm going to use my liquid glue here. I probably should have grabbed a new bottle. We'll hope for the best here. I might have enough to get through today. And attach that to the front of our card, leaving a small border going around the edges. And I need to mute my phone. Hold on a second. Morning, Amber. You like number 2? Okay, so I did a good choice then. I didn't see anybody answer right away. Let me mute my phone. If I can get it to turn back on here again. It's being temperamental. Okay, that should be better. Okay, so here's our card so far. And then I have die cut our basic weight, and I used the dies, which are the textured notes dies. And this is an online exclusive, so you'd have to go online to get that. But the number is 165555. And I die cut basic weight using it's the second to the largest die out of there. They're all different. They've all got a different design on them. This is probably one of my favorite die sets. All right, and that's going to go in the center here. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment at the bottom corner. And I'm going to use my black memento, and I'm going to stamp "It's Your Day." And that's going to be stamped in the bottom right-hand corner. Close that up so you don't make a mess. And now I'm going to attach that to the front of our card. And we're going to center that. And it looks pretty good right there. All right, so far. And we're going to set that aside because we're going to work on our flower. And let me bring my dies over here and I can show you what I did. I cut these out ahead of time. Okay, so with the dies, we've got the full coneflower. It's a double. And it's got the little fold line in the middle. So I've cut that out of our strawberry slush. So we're going to start decorating that. And oops, all the things here. And then for the detailed part of the coneflower, let me pick that up. I use the strawberry slush again, but I use this die to cut it out. And it's got these little indentations, embossed areas of the petals. So we're going to set that aside. And out of my early espresso cardstock, I've die cut the top of the coneflower, which has all these little grooves in it. Let me get that banner off of there. Hide. Sorry about that. All right, so like I said, I die cut that out of early espresso cardstock. It leaves little grooves into your paper. All right, so we're going to start out with this layer, and we're going to stamp our large stamp image on there. And I'm going to use Strawberry Slush, and I didn't grab that one. Goodness, I thought I was prepared. Hold on a second. Strawberry Slush. Good thing I didn't have to go very far. Oh, yeah, Amber. Yeah, it could be sideways. It could be a butterfly. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Oh. That's good. I didn't even see that. Good idea. All right, so we're going to ink up our image here. And we're going to stamp that using the Strawberry Slush. And I'm going to stamp both sides. So we'll press that down, let it soak in. Well, yeah, I'm going to do both sides. I didn't really need to, but this is going to fold. So we want to do the inside. And oops, get that to lay flat. All right. Now we can close that up. All right, and it's going to go this way. And we're going to attach our other petals on top. And I'm just going to glue the top portion of that. A lot of clanging today with my jewelry. Now my watch is clanging. And we'll hold that down for a second. And now we're going to add to that our top of our coneflower. Yeah, scooch it around here a little bit. Get it in place. All right, there we have that. It opens like that, but we don't need it open. We could just glue that down. So I'm going to add a little glue just to this inside top portion. And we'll press that for a little bit. It'll kind of give it a kind of a more of a 3D effect. So, all right, so that's going to go at the top of this, but we need to do our stem too. I guess I didn't stamp these. I'm going to use Mossy Meadow to stamp our leaves and the stem. And I've already die cut from our garden green cardstock for the detailed part of the leaves, but the other part of the leaf, I'm using Mossy Meadow cardstock. So I'm going to stamp the images on these solid images. And here's our stem. And then our two leaves. So we'll start out with our stem. Let me push this aside. And stamp that without getting my head in the camera. Okay, it doesn't stamp the whole thing, it just gives some lines on there. And we'll do the same with the leaves. Oops, wrong one. We've got two different shapes of leaves here, so make sure you get the right one. It just adds a little bit more detail to them. And this one goes this way. All right. Now we can close that up so we don't get anything into it. All right, now we're going to start layering. So I'm going to put these onto our leaves first. And this one goes on here. Using my liquid glue. I should have put this on an adhesive sheet first to cut them out. It would have been a whole lot easier. There. Couldn't get my glue to start. So I hope everybody's been doing well. Like I said, I've been fighting this cold for a little over a week now. A lot of congestion and coughing. So I guess it's just a good old-fashioned summer cold or something. And this one here. And our stem. We're going to figure out where we're going to place that. We're going to run it from the bottom corner up and kind of do a dry fit to see where we want it. I think that's good right there. So we'll add our adhesive to the back of that. We're supposed to get some storms here today, so this afternoon, I believe. Hopefully nothing bad. And we're going to place our flower down. And I'm going to keep that at an angle and off to our right side a little bit. And then we'll do our leaves. Place one right about there. And the other one on the other side. All right. And we've got a little scrap paper here of basic white. We're going to stamp our butterfly. And I'm going to use our black memento ink. I think I can fit that on this paper. I've got a pretty small scrap of paper here. Okay. It don't go to waste. And now I'm going to bring over my Stampin' Blends. I'm going to use the Strawberry Slush and the dark cloud cover. So here's a dark cloud cover, our Strawberry Slush. Put a cap on there so it doesn't dry up on me. Excuse me. And we're going to start out with our dark Strawberry Slush. And I'm just going to kind of alternate the dark and the light color. And all right, did I miss any? I think that looks good. Now we'll do the light strawberry slush. And when I get done with this, I'm going to have to tell you about our last couple of weeks we've had. We're supposed to have gone camping. What was it? I guess it was the first week of June. Trying to get my memory back here, and we've been gone for a couple of weeks. And I'm going to use the cloud cover for the body. And now we're going to die cut these out. And the dies. Well, oh, right here beside me. Could have bit me. All right, I want the butterfly die. Oops. Put these back in the package so I don't lose them. And I'm going to bring my mini machine over here. We're going to die cut that out. The lights. And I need some washi tape. Do I have some here? Yeah. And I'll line that up onto our image and run that through. I haven't fixed the squeak yet. Do you have problems growing flowers, Amber? I do sometimes, sometimes not. Sometimes I luck out, I guess. I've got 2 in my pots outside that I just planted this year, and they're not doing so well. So I don't know if it's me or something else going on with them. I'd gotten them for Mother's Day, I guess it was. So I kind of want to try to save them if I can. All right, let's put this butterfly onto the bottom of our card. And you could pop these up, but I didn't use dimensionals on them, so I just putting them down flat. And we're going to set our butterfly at a little bit of an angle just over our sentiment there. So, like so. But we need to add some gems to this. So we're going to be using the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. These are a new item, one of our new stuff that just came out. And those out. And I'm going to use the Strawberry Slush, the darker ones. And I'll get my take your pick tool to get those off with. Use the putty end. And I'm going to go with the lighter Strawberry Slush. So I'm going to take 2 large ones, place them over here. I guess I'll put those side by side, and then I'll take a smaller one and place that right there. Okay, so here's the front of our card. And if you wanted to, you could put a little wink of Stella onto our butterfly, just to bling it up a little bit. Can never have too much bling, I say. There. Give them a little sparkle. And for the inside, we've got our basic white. It's 4 by 5 1/4 inches. And then I've got another piece of that matching DSP, and that is 1/2 inch by 4 inches. We're going to place that at the bottom. But I need to stamp a sentiment first. So let's go ahead and stamp It's Your Day. Um, I don't know what I want to put on the inside. Let me see my stamps again here. It's Your Day. We could do this one. I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. That'd be a good one. I don't have that on my acrylic block yet, but that don't take but a second to do. So let's bring that over here. And get our black memento ink out here. Hope all the fathers had a good Father's Day yesterday. Ours was pretty good. We went out to eat after church. And came home and spent the rest of the day relaxing. So it was a good day. I think my husband enjoyed it. I bought him a new flashlight that he needed, so he's happy with that. And then I made him a card, of course. Getting ink all over me. Where's that coming from? All right. It's your day. I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. And we'll put our DSP strip at the bottom. And I'm going to leave a small border at the bottom edge. Hopefully it's straight. And I always have it a little bit longer, so I'm going to turn that over and trim off that excess. All right. Okay. So like I was saying, our last couple of weeks have been pretty horrific, I guess you might say. It started out, our water heater had been acting up for probably about a week, where my water, this controls the water in my bathroom and my shower in our master bedroom. And it kept seeming like it was awful hot compared to what it had been. So I kept telling my husband, and he thought maybe it was just my imagination or something. And so anyway, we'd gone to bed one evening, and Jack always, when we're in bed, he'll look at his camera in the living room to see how JoJo's doing. So he's looking at the camera, and it's all fuzzy. The air looks all fuzzy looking. He thought, man, that's weird. So he showed me. And I said, well, you better go check it out. And sure enough, he walked into the living room, and the room was covered in smoke. Like something was burning. You could smell it. And it was like rubber burning or something. So we both got up and tried to figure out where it was coming from. And we finally figured out that it was from the water heater. So he hurried up and disconnected the water heater because he figured it was an electrical fire going on. And I opened up windows and turned on fans and everything else. And we finally got it cleared out about an hour later. And so we figured out we needed a new water heater. So, okay, it's pretty old. It's been in the house. We've been here for 25 years, and it's always been there. So I don't know how old it was before that. So, okay, we got to get a new water heater. So we let that go and kind of figured it's one of those things. So in the meantime, we're getting ready to go camping like just a few days later, 4 days later, I guess it was. I think this was on a Thursday night, maybe. And so come Saturday, I'm cooking supper and I've got stuff in the oven. And I was doing something else while I was waiting for it to get done. And my husband walks in the kitchen. He happens to look at the oven through the glass door, the oven door. And he sees flames going all over the place. And he says, you better come check this out. And sure enough, my oven was on fire. Then, oh, great. So and we hurried up and pulled the stove out and unplugged that. And sure enough, it caught on fire. Never heard of that happening before. And so I had to buy a new oven too. So, top that off. My old one was a white one, and I've been changing my appliances over to stainless steel. So eventually I was going to change it out, but I wasn't planning on it so soon. So we went shopping that Monday, which we were supposed to go on camping that day. So we canceled our camping trip because we figured, we better stay around home and get things straightened out. And we figured, well, we don't need anything else happening bad. So we figured maybe safer to stay home and not go camping or tell what would happen next. So anyway, that was a pretty pricey few days. It was like only like a couple days apart. It was crazy. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, we got a new stove and I got a new microwave above the range because my other one was white and this one's stainless steel, so it wouldn't go together. So we just broke down and got that too. So it was a new microwave, new range, and a new water heater all one time. So, my, hope we don't have to do anything else anytime soon. But that was what happened to us. And then I came down with a stupid cold. So, go figure. Okay, so here's our card. I got sidetracked. It's your day. And I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. So, what do you think of that? Yeah, it was scary, Amber. I'm glad that my husband had checked the camera like he usually does at nighttime, and we were able to see that before it really got bad. It could have really been an awful thing. I've heard of water heaters blowing up and stuff, so it could have happened while we're sleeping. And plus, all the smoke, it would have choked poor JoJo to death. And so it could have been much worse than what it was. Thank God, God was watching out for us. All right, so our second card is going to be using the same bundle. And oh, you have a problem with ants, Amber? Yeah, we did for a while there. My husband sprayed a little bit, and I guess we kind of got rid of them. They can be a nuisance too. Right now, I've got some kind of bugs that are chewing on my plants, the ones that I was talking about. I don't know. I even put some 7 dust on them. I thought maybe that would help. So we'll see what happens. All right, so this one is Celebrating You, and it's using that same coneflower. And again, I didn't put nothing on the inside, so we'll add something to that as we go. So this one I'm using the Timid Tiger cardstock. Let me get my bits and pieces all out here before we go on. Let me take a drink of my drink here, clear my throat a little bit. I don't need to start a coughing spell here. All right, like I said, Timid Tiger, 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. And we're going to burnish that fold line. And our designer series paper, I am using, this is from the Nature Sweetness 12 by 12 designer series paper. And it was in the mini catalog back in January through April 2024. And then it switched over to being an online exclusive. So we're going to use this paper. I'm using this design right here. This is the back side. And this is the side we're using. It's got the words all over it and then some gold specks in it. So that's going to be size is 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And we're going to go ahead and attach that to the front of our card. Yeah, I should have grabbed a new glue bottle here, but let me get through here today and I'll get a new one later. I've got some, but they're not right here with me. And make sure my words are going the right direction. And the card's opening the right direction. And it's going to leave a small edge going all around it. Oh, really? Yeah, I suppose they change everything nowadays, so it probably isn't as good as it used to be. Um, I'll have to wait and see if it works or not. All right, so here's our first layer. And our second layer, I have die cut it using Gallery Blooms dies, and I use this die right here. It's going to come out there. And it cuts out 3 layers. So it cuts out the outside layer, an inside layer. Let me move these over. The inside layer. And then it cuts out the very center layer, which is this one right here. And we're only going to be using the outside layers. So these can be used for another project later on. And I'm going to take the frame and I'm going to use the black key stamps that's in that image. And I'm going to use probably an ink pad I don't have here. What did I use? Early espresso. Let me grab that. See, I wasn't prepared. Early espresso. And the first thing I do is put my finger in it, of course. Okay, so we're going to stamp some splotches all over this framework. So I'm going to stamp it off first and go second generation, just to lighten it a bit. I'm going to go all around the frame. It's pretty quiet here today. Hope it stays that way today and we don't get no bad storms later. I don't know if they're forecasting anything rough. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment while I'm at it. I've got a small strip of designer series paper, and this measures, looks like 1/4 inch by whatever. I didn't measure the length. We're going to be chopping that off anyway. And did I not? I don't think I put that image on here. Let me grab my stamps here again. Yep. Celebrating You. Grab me a block. And we're going to use our early espresso to stamp our sentiment. And well, that didn't come out so good. Let's turn that over. There, that's better. Celebrating You. And then we're going to snip that down shorter. And I'll set that aside and hopefully I don't lose that before I need it. All right, we're going to add our frame. It's going to go right on the front of this. And center that. Here we are so far. And I have die cut that same die out of This is the Timid Tiger cardstock. And don't tell me I don't have that one either. Goodness gracious. I don't know what I thought I was going to do today. Timid Tiger. I guess I'm trying to get my steps in today. All right, Timid Tiger stamp pad. Timid Tiger cardstock die cut. And I need to clean off my Coneflower. And bring my figure chamois over here to do that with. All right, all better. And I'm also clean off my stem and leaves while I'm at it. Using those also. I got that down in the groove good. There we go. And my leaves. Do some housekeeping here. This is our Simply Chamois. You just add water to it and it cleans your stamps really well. No chemicals involved. All right, so let's stamp this up with our Timid Tiger. And we're going to stamp that onto both sides. And okay, that's going to go like that. So we need to do the inside here. You wouldn't really have to do the inside, but I do because just in case some of it sticks out below or something, it'll show a little bit better than plain. Oh, I didn't have to put that away yet. And again, I have die cut that little top of that coneflower with the early espresso. And we're going to go ahead and attach these. Glue on that back layer just at the top. And the back of this one. We add that to the top of our coneflower. And our early espresso layer goes on top of that. And I'm going to just place that on there right now because we're going to work on the stems. And I'm using the Mossy Meadow again. We'll stamp that stem. And our leaves. I've cut these out with the Mossy Meadow, and then I've cut out the tops of the leaves with our Garden Green, the detailed part of it. Set it. And I'm going to lay down our stem and our leaves. And I'm going to kind of tuck this, well, I've already glued it down, so I can't tuck it under. So we're just going to butt it up against the edge and like so. Or should I do this way? I think I'll go that direction. On my original, I tucked it up underneath the framework, but I forgot and I glued it down too soon. So we're just going to butt it up against the corner of that bottom corner of that frame. And add our flower cone. You want to make sure you don't go past your card edge. And let's attach our leaves. And make sure I get the right one on the right one. All right. And I don't think I left enough room for my butterfly. I guess I didn't stamp them ahead of time. I might skip the butterfly on this one. He's supposed to go up here. See, I didn't leave enough room. I might skip the butterfly. I also die cut this image out of the Timid Tiger. It is this die cut here. And that's going to go across the bottom layer here. So I should have used my adhesive sheets on this one too. I didn't. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here and there onto our die cut. And this is going to go across the bottom area, the bottom of the frame. And place that down. And then I've already made my bow, and I'm using, this is a Timid Tiger faux linen ribbon. And it's real easy to make bows with. It's not thick, so you can maneuver it. And we're going to put that bow right there. So I'm going to use my mini glue dots. And set on there. Take my come back by itself. I was going to use my take your pick tool, but I didn't have to. It came off all by itself. So there we go. And I think I'll leave the butterfly off. I think I've got enough on there. So we'll put our sentiment. Very nice. I'm debating where I want to put it. Well, I guess I'll keep, well, it kind of hides it up there. So I think I might put it down here. Should I pop it up? I think I'll put it up on dimensionals. Do I have my small dimensionals here? There they were. There they are. And I'm going to use the edge of them. I'm going to cut it down skinny. Make sure I do the right side here, that I didn't mess up. And celebrating you. Yeah, I like that. Celebrating you. And kind of play at the bow later to get it to go where I want it to go. But here's the front of our card. Celebrating you. And our inside layer is our 4 by 5 1/4 inches. And celebrating you. Let's go. It's your day. So I'm going to clean this off. I'm going to use my early espresso ink to stamp the inside. And I'm going to put it at the top right-hand corner. Celebrating you, it's your day. And if you wanted to, you could bring the splotchies over here. Might be enough ink on there. Yeah. Just a little extra on the inside. You see, I didn't re-ink that stamp set. I just huffed on it, and it brought the ink back to life again, so I could use it one more time. And put this on the inside of our card, and we'll call that card finished. All right, celebrating you. It's your day. And you could put some gems on here, but I think with all the extra gold flecks on that paper, I don't think it really needs it. But you could if you wanted to embellish it a little bit more. So this one had the butterfly, so I like both. With butterfly or without butterfly. Let me take the time and clean off my stamps over here before we get started on our last card. And I won't have to stop and do it. I'll have it done. I think I used pretty much all the stamps in there. Maybe a couple I didn't. I'm going to enjoy the stamps. I love it. Lots of ideas I got with it. All right, I think that's all of them. Okay. So our next card is going to be in yellow. This is our Darling Duckling color. One of our new in colors. And let me get my instructions off of there. Okay. And I'll get some pieces to go along with that. Did I put? No. I thought I forgot something on our last card, but I had to double check it. It's fine. I got everything. All right. So happy belated birthday. And I'm sorry I missed your special day. Let's extend the celebration. It's on the inside. So I'll go ahead and get started on that. And our card base is going to be, this is our darling duckling. And it's 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And then it's scored at 4 1/4 inches. And we're going to burnish that fold line again. I just noticed I did all my cards in the same orientation. Okay, and then we have our designer series paper, which is in that same pack that we used previously, but this is the darling duckling pattern. And this is 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. We're going to attach that to the front of our card. Even the back side's pretty, but I thought maybe it was a little bit too busy for what we're doing today. Come on, bottle, don't fail me now. Well, come on. Is it plugged up? There we go. Had to persuade it a little bit there. And this goes on our card front with a little border going around. All right. And again, I did the same die cut. I die cut the darling duckling cardstock and the image out of the same. And then I die cut the leaves and flowers out of the granny apple green. So I'm going to go ahead and do our stamping, and I'm going to use darling duckling. We don't have that one out either. Goodness gracious, I should have just grabbed all my stamps at the same time. Darling duckling. Guess I need to move my ink pads closer to me. All right, so we're going to stamp the image on this die cut first. And we'll do the same thing we did with our other two. I'm going to stamp the front side and then the inside. And then I need our granny apple green. I did have that one out. And we'll stamp our stem and our leaves. Oh, good morning from Holland. Wow. Hey. My husband is part Dutch. I've never been there. I just put that on my bucket list. Okay, what time is it in Holland right now? Are you afternoon or early evening? Okay. We're on our third card, but you can go back and watch the replay to catch what you might have missed on our other two cards. I'm using the Coneflower Celebrations Bundle from Stampin' Up. It's one of our new ones. I'm having lots of fun with it. And our other leaf, which is our Granny Apple cardstock. And I'm using Granny Apple stamp pad. to stamp those images with. And I think we can put this away for now. And we'll start assembling. Okay, 1840. I'm not sure how that, what time that would be. Is that afternoon or evening? I think that's evening, isn't it? I'm not real good with translating those, I guess. Okay, so we stamped the outside, and then we're going to stamp the inside, and then we're going to attach these two together. And I'm just going to put glue at the top of the flower to hold those together. And we've got our early espresso die cut that goes on the top of the cone. I'm glad to have you here today. And then I've got the die cut, the detailed die cut. Oops, that goes on the wrong one. See, I'm not paying attention here. This goes on this one instead. So luckily my glue didn't dry real fast. I was able to pull it back off of there. There, fixed it. Now this one goes on top. See, I wasn't paying attention what I was doing. Trying to multitask here. All right, put that down. English is not so well. Oh, sorry. That's okay. I'm just happy to have you here today. That you're joining us. All right, so this is going to go right here, and I'm going to make sure I leave enough room for my butterfly. So let's go ahead and stamp that butterfly, and we're going to stamp that using our black memento ink, and we'll grab our image and stamp that onto our scrap of Darling Duckling cardstock. And we're going to die cut that. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of Darling Duckling Stampin' Blends here. So let me get that out. And what did I do with my cloud cover? And we're going to use the light cloud cover. So I'm going to start out with my dark Darling Duckling. And I'm just going to color every other layer here of the butterfly. And all right. And then the light Darling Duckling. You like the butterflies? Good. I do too. I like butterflies. I think the monarchs are probably my favorite. But they're all so pretty and graceful. Okay. And I'm going to use my cloud cover, the light, to do the body of the butterfly. And then I'm going to bring my die back over here, and we're going to die cut this out. And got my mini machine. And I had some washi tape here. There it is. Use that to hold it in place so it doesn't move on me. Run that through the machine. And like I said, I had a squeak in my handle. I need my husband to fix that for me. All right. So here's our butterfly. You put this die away so I don't lose it. Nothing worse than losing your dies. All right, now we can start assembling this. I'm going to attach my detailed leaves to my solid leaves, and I take your pick tool to poke out some hang-ons here. It's going to go on this one, and it goes onto this one. Grab our adhesive. And attach that to the matching leaf. And let me hold this up so I can see that it's straight. There we are. And our glue on this other leaf. And I'm not putting glue on the whole thing. I'm just here and there, just enough to hold it in place. And like I said, I should have used my adhesive sheets and it would have been a whole lot easier, but I didn't. All right, now we'll take our stem, put some glue on the end of that, or on the back of that. And I'm going to run it from the bottom left-hand corner up. I'm not going to go all the way over because I'm going to squeeze in our butterfly on this side. So she'll fit. I think I'll lay her down first and make sure I've got enough room for her. And I'm going to sit her at a bit of an angle. She's coming in on her flight to land on that flower. And now we can place our flower down. And it's going to be at an angle. And make sure that you're not going over your edge of your card. And now we'll add our leaves. And our other leaf. Go on this side. And I'm going to tuck that just under that one a little bit. All right, and then we've got our ribbon we're using. This is the faux linen ribbon, and this is the Darling Duckling color. So we're going to take off some of that, and we're going to zigzag it. So I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of Stampin' Seal to hold it in place. And a little strip of it right there. And we're going to zigzag it. And ribbon scissors to cut that off. And then our sentiments. Oops, that didn't stick. I thought I had one already done, but I guess I didn't. We're going to stamp the happy belated birthday. And We're going to use our black memento ink. Happy belated birthday. And I don't like that so bright white, so we're going to tone it down with our ink pad here. We're going to be using our blending brush and our stamp pad, Darling Duckling. And I'm going to add a little color to that, just to tone down the white a little bit. So tap that off, get it a little lighter, and just kind of brush it onto our white layer. Not a lot, just to give it a little bit of color. And then we're going to fussy cut that out. Oh, you like them better with the butterflies, Amber? Yeah. Well, I should have left more room. And I probably could squeeze one, maybe set it on top of the coneflower, maybe. I don't know. I have to play around with it and see. So I'm just going to fussy cut our letters, our sentiment out with my paper snips. And no special way, just cutting around the letters, leaving a small edge going around them. And round that corner off a little bit. And this is going to go onto dimensionals. I'll put that onto our ribbon there. So I'm going to use our regular size dimensionals. And I take your pick tool to lift those up with, because I don't have any fingernails. And I think probably just 2 will do the job. And make some noise here. And we're going to attach that over our ribbon. Make sure we don't go off the edge. And we've got some embellishments to add to that. And this is the 2025 to 2027 in color flat pearls. And we're going to get it out of the package here. We will. There we go. I'm going to use the daffodil, not daffodil, the Darling Duckling ones. And I'm going to use, it's got 3 sizes. We've got large, medium, and small. So I'm going to use all 3 sizes. So we're going to large, medium, and a small one will go right up here with the butterfly. Okay, so here's the outside of our card. Happy belated birthday. And then on the inside, we've got our basic white, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to stamp happy belated birthday. We could put, I'm sorry I missed your special day. That would work. Yeah. I'm sorry I missed your special day. Let's extend the celebration. So again, I'm going to be using the black memento ink. And we're going to stamp that for our inside sentiment. And I think I'm going to let's stamp it right in the middle. I'm sorry I missed your special day. Let's extend the celebration. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not sure how to say your name. Is it Aletta? Aletta? Or Aletta? Aletta? It's a pretty name. And put our adhesive on the back and attach that to the inside of our card. I hope you go back and watch the replay so you'll catch the first 2 cards. And be sure that you subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you as one of my followers. All right, so here's our 3rd card. And I think I'm going to put some Wink of Stella onto this butterfly too, just to give her a little bit of bling. Can never have too much bling. There we go. I don't know if the camera picks it up. It sort of does. Okay, so happy belated birthday. I'm sorry I missed your special day. Let's extend the celebration. I've got something on my cardstock. There we go. So that's card number 3. So let me bring all 3 of them out here and we'll close for today. So here's our second and our first. So like Amber said, I was going to put a butterfly on this one, but I ran out of room. I didn't put it over far enough. This is my original. But I kind of like it without too, so you could either add it or leave it off. Ah, ebony. It's very pretty. I like that. Never heard it before. Okay, so there's our 3 cards for today. And I'm glad that you're able to be here today. And be sure you tell your friends about me and come join us next week. So next week I'll be back. It would be 10:30 Central Time. And that would be June 23rd, 2025. So it would be 11:30 Eastern Time, 10:30 Central Time, 9:30 Mountain Time, and 8:30 Pacific Time. And those are all AM. So I want to thank you again for being here. And I think that's all I have to talk about before we close. And again, I want to thank you for being here. And we'll see you next time. And thank you. So thank you for being here today. And we'll see you next Monday, June 23rd. The month is almost gone already again. So until next time, y'all have a good rest of the week and get some crafting time in for yourselves. I always say you got to have some me time. And what better way to do that than having some crafting time, if it's making cards or scrapbooking, whatever your paper crafting hobby is. Okay, bye-bye. Thanks for being here.